To carry out a successful first strike, you need to get your troops where they have to be in a hurry. A combat personnel carrier needs to be heavily armored and equipped with enough firepower to defend its payload or launch an attack if necessary. That's just not enough for really tough customers like the Marines. They demand all of that, then they want more. What they need is a transformer. A typical Marine operation goes from sea to land and back again, and that means a heavily armored, fully weaponized land vehicle that turns into a top-speed, sea-going vessel without stopping.
They call it the Expeditionary Fighting Vehicle.
The Expeditionary Fighting Vehicle, or EFV, is going through its final tests, so it won't see action until 2011. But right now, I'm able to give you a sneak preview of what this amphibious miracle can really do. The EFV's new training and maintenance headquarters is based at Camp Pendleton just outside of San Diego, where I get to also see its predecessor.
This is the Marine Amphibious Assault Vehicle, or AAV, and it's seen its fair share of war. But it's based on technology from the 1960s and has limitations on today's modern battlefield.
One of its limitations is that it simply can't travel long distances at sea. The AAV has to be launched from the mothership as little as 3 miles from the coast and signals to the enemy that you're coming. Another serious drawback is that it's just too slow. With a top sea speed of around just 7 knots, the old AAV leaves itself even more vulnerable to attack. Program Manager Colonel John Bryant is the man in charge of the EFV's development.
AAV has been a workhorse for the Marine Corps, but we have the ability now to field something much more capable, to field a much more powerful weapon system, to provide a much more capable vehicle, and to provide something that the infantry Marine deserves to ride into combat.
The Marines' latest tactical approach is to launch coastal attacks from much further out to sea. This strategy is called over-the-horizon or forcible entry attack, but for that, you need an amphibious vehicle that's up to the job.
Marine Corps needs the EFV because it brings a quantum leap in our forcible entry capability. With the EFV, we can place those amphibious ships 25 nautical miles out at sea. They're over the horizon, they're safe, we can make a high-speed run, we can attack almost anywhere within a huge range, and the enemy has no idea where we're going to come.
The Marine Expeditionary Fighting Vehicle is an evolutionary jump in amphibious warfare, with an impressive list of new operational capabilities like increased lethality, increased survivability, and increased horsepower. The EFV brings a whole new meaning to the words deadly assault.
But the most significant feature of the EFV's design is its sheer speed on water. It easily travels at 29 knots in the sea, 4 times faster than the old AAV. For an amphibious assault vehicle, that's not only record-breaking, it's also vital in a first strike.
It's key to make sure the enemy cannot predict where we're going to go. We want to hit him where he doesn't expect us.
With much thicker armor than its predecessor, the fully loaded EFV is almost 10 tons heavier than the AAV. So how do you keep a massive 76,000 pounds of combat vehicle afloat and on the move? The answer? A state-of-the-art engine with tons of turbo power.
The turbo capability is what creates the horsepower. It's what spins this engine up to go from 851 horsepower in land mode to the 2,703 horsepower we need in water mode to get that 76,000 pounds up on plane.
The EFV achieves these speeds not by cutting through the waves, but by gliding over them like a jet ski. But this is more than just a high-speed vehicle. the built-in computer system means the whole vehicle can be controlled from a single crew member's position. One of the coolest updates the Marine Corps has put into the EFE is this thing called the CDP, or Common Display Panel. It is basically the computer brain of this whole vehicle, and the driver can pretty much control everything they need to control from this panel. There's also a sophisticated GPS system providing precise location and target information.
It allows us, the crew, to see where the vehicle's located at during, especially 25 nautical miles out. We can track our route to hit our beach objective.
Oh, you guys are so lucky, man. When I was back in my day, we'd jump out of an airplane in a little rubber boat, and we'd have to figure out with compass where the heck we were trying to get our way. Now you have GPS capability. You know exactly where you are over the horizon. You're able to bring that vehicle right up on the shore.
And once this amphibious tracked vehicle, or Amtrak, gets to shore, it just keeps on moving. And I'm about to take it for a test drive.
Nobody knows how to enjoy the beach more than the United States Marine Corps.
On land, the EFV can reach speeds of up to 45 miles an hour with all-terrain mobility. So it can easily keep up with a battle tank's cruising speed. And even after its 25-mile sea run, it can keep going on land for another 200 miles without refueling. So, why take two vehicles into battle when the EFV does the work of both? The Expeditionary Fighting Vehicle, or EFV, is two amazing transports in one. A powerful weapons platform and a heavily armored personnel carrier that transforms from sea vessel to land vehicle while on the move. That's a major first strike advantage. Making the transformation from steel-tracked land vehicle to a high-speed sea craft is an incredible engineering achievement. But when you think that the EFV does it without even stopping, it's more like a miracle. I asked Sergeant Frederick to talk me through how this is possible.
I'm going to be able to show you how it reconfigures into water mode. It's got a bow plane on the front that's going to extend. The track is going to start sucking up into the hull. It's going to push out back, and you got these chine flaps right here. These are going to fold underneath the vehicle and make it a complete smooth flat bottom.
Oh, fantastic.
Now we've got a full flat bottom boat.
Wow. Incredible. A real-life transformer.
A real-life transformer.
Let's see it.
Time to hit the waves. Surf's up. As soon as the EFV leaves the shore, it begins its transformation. The tracks come up, the transit flap comes out, and within seconds, it goes from tank to boat. Once that turbo power kicks in, nearly 3,000 horsepower pushes all that 38 tons of EFV onto the water's surface. Even in rough seas, this mighty metal amphibian will still maintain its top speed. Two propulsion jets pump out almost 250,000 gallons of water every minute to power it over the ocean. At that rate, it could fill an Olympic-sized swimming pool in less than 3 minutes. And all that sheer propulsion power means that on the water, the poor old amphibious assault vehicle is simply no match for its replacement. It just doesn't stand a chance. It's precisely this massive increase in sea speed and range that allows that all-important over-the-horizon forced entry attack. The next challenge is the transition from sea to land. Getting smoothly out of the water at the coastline has always been a difficult and dangerous task for an amphibious craft. But not for the EFV. It simply transfers all that power from the high-speed water jets to the vehicle's tracks. And once it gets on land, the EFV can safely deliver its lethal payload, an entire combat Marine squad, fully loaded and ready for action. But make no mistake, the EFV's job is far from over. It's just as much a part of the action as the infantry squad it's designed to carry.
The EFV can bring 17 hard-charging Marines into the battle, but it is no taxi. It's ready to fight, and so is its 30mm cannon.
Guided by a high-precision day or night fire control, the EFV's Mark 46 weapon system is based around an automatic cannon that can pump out 230mm rounds a minute. Unless you have some serious military hardware on your side, you really don't want to mess with this.
This can destroy any threat vehicle short of a main battle tank. We can reach out to a target in excess of 2,000 meters away. We can hit with the first burst. We can hit day or night. We can hit in fog. We can hit in the rain. We can hit the enemy with the first burst before he even knows we're there.
As if that wasn't enough, the EFV also includes a 7.62mm machine gun.
When vehicles square off, it's all about who puts steel on target first. With this weapon system, we can put lethal steel on target first, every time.
This truly amazing vehicle gives the Marines the power, speed, and flexibility they need to launch a first strike before the enemy even knows they're coming.
The intimidating EFV, 38 tons of killer craft, surfing the seas and hitting the beach, ready for war.